You're losing sleep. You're not eating. You're calling. You're spending all night Googling. You're binge watching my videos. You're buying every supplement and thing you can get. You're reading all the books. You're binging the channels. You're going to the sites, right? This is the problem. This is the problem. That means that you are stuck. Okay. So now, if you are stuck, I've got 5 ways to help you get out. So you could be firmly stuck like Ms. Maya here, or you could be like Frashida, who's on her way out, who's figured out how to prove it. I've got some 5 strategies for those too, but we're going to get here. And Haley's right. The mindset, this is the biggest hurdle, the biggest blockage I had to overcome before I saw any results. And it took Haley a long time to figure it out because she was really stuck in worry, right? If you've had a child who's had a lot of ear infections and things like that, I saw somebody else here on the video that said, yeah, ear tubes. That's Miss Maya. First set at 2.5 and he just turned 4 and you're still at the same stage and he has virtual autism. So you're Miss Maya, you've got a double whammy, just like Haley did. Not only did your child have ear infections that kept them unable to hear, but you also had this virtual autism situation. So the behaviors look very unusual. The communication is very convoluted and inconsistent. And it's very hard to figure out with these standardized checklists. And that's why kids like Haley's son and Haley herself was like, I'm not sure it's autism because we have all these other physical symptoms. There's all that stuff going on. And literally, you need to get past it. You need to take that diagnosis label as long as your child is healthy enough to play. If they're eating, it doesn't matter if they're eating everything, they're eating enough to keep them healthy and out there and playing and enjoying life with you. And you can take them on a walk. You can take them on a car ride. You can help them play things and do things with them. They're healthy enough for that. Then stop worrying. Take that diagnosis, put it up on a shelf, leave it there for 6 months. You might have to wait on a waiting list that long anyway. And just start to focus on your child's ability. Just like Frashida said, you have to prove it to these people. It's not going to happen. They can't do it. You have the time, the energy, and the exposure to do it. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how because we need you to do this. We need you to get out of these desperation. He's got to make improvement or I won't sleep, right? It's not going to work that way. It's going to only work. It's only going to work. So here we go. Frashida says, I believe in our kids and I do too. And I know you do too. So let's believe in these kids and make little changes ourselves to equip and empower them. Number 1, survival strategy. If you are worried, slow down your breathing, slow down your speech, slow down the actions you take with your hands, because these things all affect your own personal feelings of regulation in your central nervous system and in your ability to problem solve. So without it, you're here asking me questions. It's very hard. I can't do it. My child's sneaky. I can't do it. Help me figure it out. Just step 1 is slow down. Slow down. Because when you just take a minute, you will see how brilliant your child is. Stop worrying about what they can't do and start looking at them and spending time with them, and then spend a little time with yourself, okay? Because the source of your fear is different, and it's definitely happening. If you're here making comments on my videos, I know we've all been in it, and you're triggered by the outside world and you can't help it. So you need to figure out, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this energy, this judgment, this blame, this shame, all this stuff that you are feeling? Because the source of your fear habits could be one big trigger. You know, maybe you found out when you took your child to the birthday party and they were the one that was having a tantrum or covering their ears while their other kids are singing happy birthday. Or maybe it was, the end of the year and or some program at school or something, and your kid's the one that couldn't do it. And all the other kids are talking and chatting and interacting, or maybe other kids in your kid's class come up to you and say, hi, you're Joey's mom, blah, 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 but your child is silent, right? It could be one of those events, or a neighbor or a mother-in-law visit from somebody that just made you think that you are completely useless as a parent. that your child is delayed, that you gave them the phone and now they're this and it might never improve. Like, that's the stuff that can make you feel like this. Like, what is going on? What are these people doing? Well, how can we do this? And you lose belief in yourself and stuff. So you need to get that belief back. This is what self-awareness does, right? What are these people doing to you? And is it even true what they're saying? Has it been one thing or has it been the thing to wear you down over time? And you got to put that up on the shelf with the diagnosis. You got to get rid of it. Okay. Now here's survival strategy number 3. You got to take a time out. You've got to get a break from this child. You have to find someone who loves your child and trust that they will help keep your child happy and safe. They're not going to give your child a phone. It could be a grandma. It could be a neighbor. It could be your buddy. It could be your partner. It could be whoever. And then you need to take that time and focus on your recovery from trauma and care for your own happiness, because this fear that was projected at you, the misdiagnosis, the labels, the judgment, all that stuff that comes at you, that's trauma. There's some moms that could have PTSD. Like, again, for Sheeta figured it out. She was making herself miserable and suffer because she was stuck in that stuff. She just said it. And when she changed, now she's a happier human. She's not suffering when she looks at her child using whatever behavior, communication that child is using. She gets inquisitive. She digs in. She figures out how to bring that feeling to light with language, good, bad, frustrated, excited, happy, curious, whatever it is. Because this is what parents can do when you are a connected facilitator for your child. Without that ability, you yourself fall into the judgment, fear, blame, and shame, right, that you're projecting onto your child. And when it comes onto you and you feel it and you project it onto your child, this is when you end up having tantrums parallel. Your child's crying and you're crying too. Or you leave the room because you're crying in your car or crying in your bathroom or something like that, right? Because you don't want to see your child. No, they won control over you, just like these other people, your mother-in-law or whoever it was that made you think you weren't capable, even a school, right? This is traumatic for you as parents, and you need to give it up. You need to really process this out and find out that it was just somebody else's stuff that was projected onto you. And you don't need it, and neither does your child. So it's time to put it away with the diagnosis, with the judgment, because every diagnosis is a judgment, analysis, this kind of stuff. You want to figure out and move from diagnosis and judgment into analysis and curiosity about who your child really is as a human being, how they really feel about that birthday party or the show or the story time or whatever it was you took them to because you thought it was going to be a good experience, and it didn't turn out to be a good experience because you weren't prepared. You didn't facilitate it. You just thought on your own something that might be better for your child. And this is what the schools are doing to you. They think they know what's better for your child, your life, whatever, because they have experience working, whatever. And it might be true. It might be true, but you're not going to know unless you approach that with an understanding and analysis. Okay, so let's get into it. I know I've been talking about this a lot. I thought that this was going to be shorter, but it really is. So you literally take a break, right? And take care of yourself. And then you go back and you make a change. You've got to get this kiddo to buy into your functional facilitation, amazing ideas that are fun. And that's up to you. And so you pick one little thing that will prevent future triggers. Maybe you can't stand the fact that after kids go to school, after they leave the room or go to bed or go to school or whatever, you're cleaning up after them. So make a new rule that protects your boundaries so that they're participating in cleaning and so that you're creating win-win contracts. And this is just one example of the kinds of changes that you can make. You can learn about them all over in my program. So yeah, one little change. Now we're going to do this together. Now I'm going to help you. And then number 5 is to find your gratitude. That's what Frashida had to do, right? She had to realize all the amazing, beautiful things about her child and not believe what other people are saying that you can't do this stuff. You have to decide to be the joyful energy and not the projected, judgmental, oh no, woe is us, it's never going to happen, it's too slow. Does he have virtual autism? Does he not? Blah, 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 right? None of that's going to help you, but gratitude will. Gratitude is what makes you feel happy every day, no matter how much your child is talking, because you love them, right? This is your baby. Now, if you need help with all this, that's how you visit wavesofcommunication.com. Check out these buttons. All these buttons take you to some place that could be directly for you to solve your problem with this lay talker. The free guide, parent self resources, virtual autism, my community, and you can even work with me personally. Each one of these pages explains exactly how it works, exactly how I help people. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for liking this video right now. Please hit that like button.